when the action had died down last night, the ITV panel got their heads together under the doubtful chairmanship of Pat Crerand and set about picking the best individual 11 they've seen so far in the World Cup. This is the team they came up with. They had David Harvey in goal from Scotland, the one Scottish player in the side, Garcia of Chile, Luis Pereira of Brazil, Beckenbauer and Breitner of West Germany, the back four, Dania of Poland, Oblak, this great Yugoslav, and Bonev of Bulgaria, an all-Eastern European midfield, Lato of Poland, Brian Clough's friend, Cruyff, of course, and Ayala of Argentina as the three men up front. Paddy, where did the most argument come there?
Brian, I don't know how you keep us so well organised, because last night after the show it was almost a fight about some of the players that we picked in the squad. Actually, one of the biggest problems I think we had was with Derek. He couldn't get in the team. but I think with the discussion about whether the boy Figueiredo from Chile was a better player than Beckenbauer, on the performance probably it might have been, but we took a democratic vote. And Derek again argued that. And he but there was one other Scotsman possibly could have got in, Peter Lorimer in his performance. Jazic of Yugoslavia could have got in the side. Van Hannigan of Holland. There were so many good players actually.
Well, it's something that we're going to do throughout the World Cup, so look out for the next panel 11. I know there was no argument whatsoever about David Harvey as the goalkeeper, and that was a view endorsed by Mervyn Day, the young West Ham goalkeeper, who is working with us in ITV on the World Cup, and I'm sure many of his fans up and down the country will be delighted to know that Mervyn will be on our early show tomorrow at 5:20, telling us about the goalkeepers he's seen in the World Cup. Right, let's have our phone in. Let it get underway now. We've got some callers on the line, and I think the first one is Alistair Sharp from Finchley. Alistair, you're through to the panel.
Yes, good afternoon, Brian.
Good afternoon.
The panel have talked at length about actual players, but what is their view on the standard of refereeing of the matches which we've seen so far on ITV?
Bobby Moncur.
Well, Mr. Sharp, was it?
Yes, that's right.
Well, I have been very pleased with the refereeing. They've been positive and been unafraid, and I've been delighted. And obviously there's been two guys sent off, and I think this had to happen, otherwise we were going to get some scandalous tackles. And I think they've set the pattern now, and I think it'll continue through the World Cup. There'll be less bad fouls, and I'm very pleased with the referees.
Yes, I think most of the panel would agree with that, Alistair, and I think everyone was delighted with the performance of Clive Thomas in what could have been potentially an explosive match there yesterday between Argentina and Poland. Alistair, thank you very much indeed for your call. It's got us underway. There's another one, I think, from Mr. Davis of Enfield. You're on the line to the panel, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Brian. The World Cup so far has shown a growing trend towards commercialism. The ex-Brazilian manager, and forgive my pronunciation, Salandina, has said the World Cup is on a disaster course. The players have become money mad. Do you think this growing trend towards commercialism and greed will eventually end the World Cup or its form?
Paddy Crerand, who's not a greedy man.
It's a very difficult question actually, Brian. I suppose some players, when you get involved in the World Cup, you want to get out of it what you can, but I think the main point we must make is players, once they go on that pitch, are not interested. They don't think for 1 minute about money. I think that's the biggest point that you've got to make about players.
I think that the commercial side is caused by boot manufacturers and by newspapers, you know, because they offer money to beat each other. And this is where the problem is, you know, if one offers £200, another one offers £250. You know, they're wearing Adidas boots or they wear Puma boots. You know, and there's this very, very big problem.
Malcolm, we had this argument the last day about the commercial thing, and it was, you know, the players, as Paddy said, there's no way players will worry about money once they get on the field.
Right, the only fellow on the panel we haven't heard from yet is Brian Clough, and the next caller is Charlie Andreas from Ealing. Mr. Andreas, would you like to address your question to Cloughie?
Yeah, hello there.
Hello, Charlie.
How's it going, Brian?
Not bad, thank you.
Listen, I can't understand why the panel haven't got Dino Zoff in goalkeeping World Cup 11.
Yeah, it's not a bad point at all. Obviously, you're a little bit biased, sounding by your accent. We thought Harvey was, you know, that much better. We thought he was that much safer. And I believe that Zoff relies, as every goalkeeper does, but more Zoff than most, he relies an awful lot on the defensive setup that the Italians operate. And I believe that Harvey, behind any defence, would come out a better goalkeeper. I'm not so sure about Zoff. He is a great goalkeeper, but he's, you know, he's been behind this Italian fence for so long that he does things automatically. And I would like to see him, you know, stuck behind another defence like West Ham's.
Oh, OK then. But I still think, you know, 12 games without a goal against him,
No, Charlie, it was absolutely superb record and can't be argued against.
Right, I think the thing that we should make, actually, we're only picking the team on the games that we have saw, the games that have been played. Dino Zoff played yesterday against Haiti and didn't give all that much to do. So you can't really judge him on that performance. We're not judging him in 12 games going by, we're judging him in what's happening now.
I think the other point, Charlie, is that we are, as I say, coming back to this theme throughout the World Cup. We should be doing this team every so often, so maybe Dino will get in a bit later on. But at the moment, David Harvey has got the choice. Thank you very much for your call, though. I gather Kevin James from Charlton is on the line. Kevin, you're through to the panel.
Hello.
Hello.
I'd just like to talk to Brian about the Haiti goalkeeper, because I think that he deserves it more than Harvey. Because the game he played was, well, I think was brilliant.
Yeah, well, Kevin, this is what makes our game go round, because everybody's got different opinions. It's the people who have the opinions who are right most succeed. He played remarkably well, but, you know, he did throw himself around a bit, you know, a little bit spectacular.
Yeah, but that's what goalkeeping's about.
No, goalkeeping is about stopping goals, not being spectacular.
Yeah, but that's what he did, stop goals.
Well, he did concede,
three.
You know, he did concede three. I would like to see him again and again before, you know, I give you a definite opinion and told you whether he can play or not.
Kevin, that's lovely. Thank you very much. We've got another caller on the line. It's our first lady caller. Welcome to Mrs. Nichols from Raynham in Essex. Mrs. Nichols, you're through.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Nichols.
Oh, good afternoon. I'd like to ask the panel if they think that Dennis Law will be picked for the match against Brazil on Tuesday. Only I see the match against Zia, and I didn't think he was up to the standard of the rest of the players.
Paddy Crerand.
Mrs. Nichols, you do look well. I'm not really sure. I don't think probably Dennis will play against Brazil. It's hard to say. Sometimes when you get a manager picks a team that wins, he's not too keen to change it. But I don't think Dennis will play against Brazil on Tuesday evening.
Do you think he should, Mrs. Nichols?
Well, I don't think so, because, as I say, he wasn't playing to the standard of the rest of the players, and I wonder if they'd put in instead of him.
Tell me, as a lady, are you enjoying the World Cup?
Thoroughly.
That's good news. We're enjoying it as well, Mrs. Nichols. Thanks very much for calling us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, love. Is it Mrs. Wallace or Mr. Wallace on the line from Nottingham now?
Mr. Wallace.
Mr. Wallace. Hello, Mr. Wallace.
Hello. I'd like to ask the members of the panel, especially the managers mainly, why is it with their own teams, when they have to play defensive, they can find a whole lot of reasons for it? And because Brazil in particular had to play defensive on Thursday, they were knocking them. I'd like them to explain to me why, because of the players they've got in this squad, it wasn't convenient. Why they shouldn't have done it.
Because, Mr. Wallace, knocking perhaps is a little bit of a strong word, but we've associated with Brazil everything that's magic about the game. We've associated them with every single aspect that we want to see on our screens and our football fields. And the very day that we don't get it, it's obvious that, you know, some form of criticism has got to be delivered.
Yeah, but isn't it true that the players you've got in your squad dictate the style of play that you do have to play?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, that's a fair comment.
And you must remember, the type of players they got now are not as good as the players they used to have. You yourself said that.
No, true, but the overall concept should be the same. And as I say, we've come to expect something special from Brazil, and if it isn't delivered, it's like all great things, Mr. Wallace. If you're a great manager, great performer, great footballer, great team like Brazil, once you fall below the standard you set, then you take a little bit of criticism. If Brian Moore falls below his standard he's set, he will get some stick as well.
I'm always taking stick from you. Mr. Wallace, thank you very much indeed for your call from Nottingham. I think we have a Mr. Allarati on the line now from Greenford. Maybe you'd like to put your question to the panel, Mr. Allarati.
Yes, I would like to ask Mr. Brian Clough why he doesn't talk about Italy these years. He's afraid because he had to make mistakes on the last World Cup to say that Italy won't qualify or they're out of training or things like that.
Yes, but he wasn't with us in the last World Cup, Mr. Allarati, so there was no saying...
I'm glad you're watching me wherever I go.
Yeah, everywhere.
I'm not sure what Italy did in the last World Cup, believe it or believe it not. Pardon? Yes, they were beaten in the final, and we didn't hear your message too well. All I can assure you is I'm not biased against the Italian side at all. I love the Italians as people and the players, and your spaghetti is absolutely magnificent.
There you are, Mr. Allarati.
I hope they win the World Cup.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
All
Mr. Alarati. We've got our youngest viewer on at the moment, and it's Master Ian Graydon, who is aged just 12 from Islington. Ian, you're through.
Hello?
Hello, Ian. Come on.
I'd like to ask Brian, have you been accused by managers at the World Cup of saying anything about their teams?
Has he been accused of what?
By managers of saying anything about the World Cup teams?
I don't think. Yes. Have you been accused by any presumably World Cup managers for saying anything derogatory about their teams?
No, not yet, Ian. I'm sure it's got to come in the next few weeks because I get accused of most things. I would like, on occasions, not to be accused of certain things, but to discuss them in the sense that all I give is an opinion, whether it's right or wrong. You know, I'm asked to give it, and I give it in all sincerity and honesty.
Ian, thank you very much indeed for your call. It's nice to get a youngster on. We go up to Yorkshire now to Mr. Hulbert in Barnsley. Clough has monopolised it a little bit for the moment. Let's come back down to Malcolm, Paddy or Bobby. Who do you want, Mr. Hulbert?
Well, any of the Scotch contingent on the panel to inquire what the panel thinks about the way Billy Brem handled the second half in their match.
That's a good question. When he slowed it right down, you mean, towards the end when they should have been looking for goals?
Yeah.
I think probably Billy was at fault to a great degree in slowing the game down. Billy was quoted in saying in some of the papers that the Scottish team were a little bit tired and he was a little bit frightened. But I think he gave the initiative to the Zaire team at that particular time. I know Billy's a great player. Possibly you coming from Yorkshire, you're probably a fan of Billy Bremnes, I would imagine.
Correct.
But I think Billy would be to blame a little bit for the display that Scotland put up in the second half. He was the main culprit for slowing the game down.
I mean, normally Billy Brem is pushing forward all the time.
Exactly. That's what he does with his club.
Yeah.
But I don't think possibly that Billy has ever been as free a player with Scotland as he has been with Leeds United. Maybe it's the players he plays with.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Mr. Hulbert. Thank you very much for your call from Yorkshire,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Hulbert. Steve Williams from Swindon, way down there in Wiltshire, is on the line, and you are through to the panel, Steve.
Hello, Brian.
Hello there.
Hello. My question is for Brian Clough. Sorry to carry on the monopoly, but
Right, you're welcome.
what I'd like to know is the fellow that he called a clown so often at Wembley in the England v Poland match. You know, does he still carry on insisting that this fellow is a clown?
Steve, I thought you would never get through. I've been waiting for you since 2 o'clock.
I've been trying.
No, you've been trying, smashing. Just give him time. I thought that, you know, he was very, very fortunate at Wembley. I did call him a clown because I looked at the other end of the field and there was a guy called Shilton who I have high regard for to be beaten with what you too, smashing. And just give him time. He did concede 2 goals, you know, yesterday.
He did indeed, yeah. I'll go along with you that they also made some rather superb saves.
Pardon?
He also made some rather superb
Oh, of
saves.
course, it's inevitable. He made a few good saves at Wembley, but, you know, it's not the good saves you make, it's the mistakes you make, because I made many, many good statements, and you've only remembered that one.
I had to remember that one, Brian. You know, I follow your comments quite a lot.
Thank you.
A lot of them make a lot of sense, but
Good, thank
the
you.
clown bit I thought was a little bit...
Well, perhaps it was a little bit
Yeah,
strong.
yeah.
We'll see later on in the competition, and I'll see you next season.
Yeah,
Steve-
I should be watching, but
Steve-
not at Brighton, I'm afraid.
No. Steve, thank you very much. I think you got the old fella backtracking a bit there. Master John Doyle from Coventry, I think, is 12 also. John, you're on the line to the panel.
Yes.
Now, what would you like to ask them?
I'd like to ask, who do you think scored the best goal in the World Cup up to now?
Bobby Moncur, who would you put that one down to?
John, that's very simple. I think it's got to be Peter Lorimer. And I think he could have had another one as well. And for me, being a Scotsman, of course, I've got to go for Peter Lorimer scoring the goal for Scotland.
I think a lot of people would say it was Joachim's strike of East Germany against Australia. Tremendous shot there. But certainly, John, there have been some wonderful goals. I hope that you're enjoying the World Cup as much as we are as well. I hope we get a lot of good goals to come, particularly from the Scots. But there we are. The fella says Peter Lorimer. Now, Mr. Cooper from Yorkshire is on the line to the panel.
hello,
Mr.
Brian.
Cooper, hello there.
This is Clive Cooper from Morley in Yorkshire.
Hello, Clive.
What I'd like to ask the panel is the long free kicks, what used to be taken in English football, seems to disappear completely in the continental football. You know, all the short ones, the long free kicks into the penalty area, where everybody was waiting there and causing a lot of trouble, they seem to disappear completely. Did the panel could help me at all?
Malcolm?
He thinks that the long free kick has disappeared.
Not enough long free kick.
Yep.
Well, I think that, you know, there was a long free kick for Scotland when Jordan scored the goal, which Bremner crossed for him. But I think that the players have to work out for themselves which is the best situation. And if they think it's a better situation to play a short one, then they play a short one. And if they think it's a better situation to play a long one. I think when they're playing against world-class players, to play long free kicks, it doesn't pay off so often as to play short free kicks.
Clive, thank you very much for that call. I do want to get the next one in because it comes from Northern Ireland. It comes from Anthony Jackson. Anthony, you're on the line to the panel from Northern Ireland.
It comes from Manchester.
From Manchester? Well, that's a long way from Northern Ireland. But come on then, Anthony.
I'd like to ask Brian Clough how he thinks Scotland will perform against Brazil.
How does Scotland go on against Brazil?
I think it'll depend. This particular match, Anthony, will depend whether Scotland get through to the later stages or not. If you want me to really put my head on the chopping block, and I know that's why you rang, I don't think they will beat Brazil.
No.
There we are.
I'm sorry, son, if you support Scotland, but I wouldn't tell you a lie.
No, I don't think they'll beat Brazil.
Good boy, that's you and I.
Two together. We've got about a minute to go, so Mr. Russell from Hayes, it'll have to be very quick, Mr. Russell.
Yes, I'd like to ask the panel, do they think, on what they've seen already of the South American teams, whether their monopoly over the World Cup football, well, not a monopoly, but their performances in the World Cup has come to an end and we're going to see an era of European football now?
Well, I think that the European teams have definitely been better than the South American teams up to yet. But I think we haven't seen the best form of Brazil yet, and they're the strongest force, I think, in South America.